personalization. How many of you guys have actually gone to websites and done some type of personalization or customization? Great. So, I mean, I'd like for this to be a little bit of a dialogue and love to hear a little bit more about what you guys, what you think, and then what you guys are doing in your day-to-day activities to bring more personalization to the web. So, what does it mean to deliver a personalized experience? So, it runs the gamut, right? There's everything from I can enter my zip code sites and get my weather, or get local news. I can rearrange a page on lots of different sites and kind of customize it to my taste. But what we're seeing now is this evolution to something more efficient and useful for people. But what we've really tried to focus on at AOL is personalization as a philosophy. So it's not just about some customization here and there. It's about how do we infuse that across everything so we can deliver the most relevancy to the user. Because at the end of the day, personalization is about making my entire experience more relevant to me. I talked about customization, so you've all seen sites like myAOL, NetVibes, iTunes, where I can just kind of tweak things and change the color and drag and drop things around. But how many of you guys have started paying attention to collaborative filtering now? I've seen a few hands. So this is where you've probably experienced, if you've ever bought something on Amazon, they'll recommend to you other products. So collaborative filtering, that's an example of collaborative filtering. And you'll start to see it more and more. Some really interesting sites out there like MyStrands, that's a music site. And it's all about just getting smarter, looking at what your music tastes are, other people's music tastes are, matching them up to make really great recommendations for you. Behavior-based is something that we're starting to see more and more of, and it's going to be a really interesting space to watch because there's a lot of questions and privacy concerns around it because it's about tracking your behavior. So there are sites now that will actually, and Google is one of them, Yahoo is one of them, AOL is one of them, track your behavior and start to make recommendations based on the things that you do or the sites that you visit. And then there's the social network. And so you guys use LinkedIn. I'm sure a bunch of LinkedIn users here. This is about your social network, right? So there's nothing more relevant, in my mind anyway, than your social network, than the people in your lives. And when you can take that and then start to make recommendations based on that from your trusted sources, that becomes really, really powerful. So think about, I'm going to show some examples, but LinkedIn actually makes recommendations for other people that you might want in your network based on your own trusted sources. And the question is, why is everyone doing this? It's about engagement. It's about how do I keep people on my site? How do I get them engaged, clicking more? Maybe they'll click on someone else's page, but maybe they'll be more likely to click on my stuff and come back tomorrow because they can find all these things in one place. And it's convenient for me now. This is actually it's almost a year old, a study from Jupiter, but they dug in and found that people who customize actually are a much more engaged audience. They're going to use your product more, they're more engaged in the marketing, they actually remember the contextual ads more. There's a bunch of things that have come out of this. AOL's been playing with personalization for years, since I started at the company. And every year we kind of work on, we struggle with, do we allow people, do we create all these options for people to customize? They always say they want to, but at the end of the day, do they? Most people, it would be like 90% would stick with whatever defaults we put on the page. And so just last year we were doing another study and we saw again, the intent to personalize, 95%, it was sky high, and I'll show you some of that data in a second. And so some of our executives said, so what's different now? Why should we invest more in this now versus when we've seen this data in the past? And I think we can really point to the MySpace, the Facebook, all of these sites out there. They're creating this new wave of users who are comfortable with customization. They're comfortable with kind of setting things up, tailoring the web to their own tastes and interests, and not afraid of what might happen. People have this desire to be able to personalize anything, whether it's your car, your hair, whatever it is, and the web just makes it easier and gives you so much more choice than anything else ever does. And so what we did was we started with the problem. And the problem is about, there's so much on the web, right? And a personalized homepage is about making it easier for me. saving me time, giving me one place where I can get to everything that I care about or need. So we focused on the solution, building the best possible personal dashboard, your jumping off point for the web. We decided we want to make it very comfortable and familiar for people. Most of the people that we found in focus groups have already in some way encountered a personalized start page. So we didn't want to make it a foreign experience. We wanted to make it feel like, okay, I come here, I recognize it, I could use this thing. But what we wanted to do was add in new options so that it can grow with me over time. And then innovate in an area where we felt like there wasn't much happening. There weren't already great solutions for people on the web. And the area that we focused on were how do we help people find things that they like or want without having to do much work. Internally, we've been calling it our product suite. It's the new myAOL. And you can read that for yourselves, but it has 3 new components. So there's the start page, the dashboard. Then there's what we're calling Magnet. And it wouldn't be Web 2.0 if it wasn't missing a vowel in there somewhere. So. Which is all about content discovery and recommendations. And I'll show you some sneak peek images of it in a minute. And then favorites. So have any of you ever used AOL in the past? Okay. We have a history with favorites. As long as AOL's been around, there's been this little heart that's lived across all of our sites and our pages. And we decided we wanted to reinvent it a little bit. So favorites is not only your bookmarks, but it's your feeds, and it's we've combined it into a reader that we use. So we decided very purposefully, this is not going to be just about AOL products and content. This is about what do you care about. This is your favorite stuff from the web. So what we've been doing is really focusing on working with other companies. You'll find a Gmail module that you can add to your page. We're talking with Yahoo about building a Yahoo module for your page, and Flickr. You'll find AOL pictures there. You'll find AOL Mail, AIM Mail, AOL Instant Messaging, all those core things that you would expect. But we're also going out of our way to make sure that those most popular features from the web that you're looking for, that you can pull into your page. We have this idea that we don't want to just innovate for innovation's sake. Let's solve real problems. One of the problems that we've kind of seen out there is how you create a feed. I know that I don't know how to create an XML feed for myself, an RSS feed, Atom feed. I have developers who do that kind of stuff. We created a way that as you go through your feeds or your bookmarks, just the sites that you collect on the web, and if you put them in a folder, and eventually we're adding tagging to this product too. So you could, if you wanted to, just collect 10 different feeds that you like, or 10 different sites, tag them all my summer vacation, and then just see that mix and share button up there? Just click that button and just share it with other people. You just created your own feed. You didn't have to know anything about code, XML, anything. You just took all those things, and as you keep tagging items, or as you add new items to your folder, those people get the updates.
Is there still a difference in your time between customization and personalization?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've, within our team, spent a lot of time talking about customization as the things that I can just customize, the things that I can type in my zip code, I can change the color, drag and drop and rearrange the page. Those things are customizations. And what I talked about before, Magnet, and where we started to innovate, this is what we talk about as deeper personalization, where we can start to automate the process a little bit for you, and it truly becomes personalized. You'll hear it called passive personalization as well, but that's where we start to think about personalization. It's what can we do behind the scenes to make it a more personally relevant experience for you, versus customization, which is really about I'm actively making it happen. That's presentation. I wanted to hear from you guys about potentially interesting things that you're seeing on the web or seeing around you with personalization and customization.